Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We're going to be doing a little political news that you don't really need to use. But you know what? Psychic Duck was saying, you got to get on and do some politics. And I said, no. And he said, yes. Well, he said quack. And then I go, I think I'm being a quack. Anyway, we are going to do just a couple of things. I want to read on how in the hell can Pumpkinhead still have an approval rating in the 30s? Blew my mind. I put up in my community post a little hopium about California projections for the governor's race. So that was good. I want to look at faith, and Shawn Hannity kind of threw me a little bit till I looked into it. He said, I'm quitting the Catholic Church. Like, what an ass. Well, did I say that out loud? Anyway, so I want to look at that. I want to look at the Epstein War. That's a cover-up. Nancy Mace is in the news again, which, well, okay, good for her, I think. And what else are we going to look at? I do want to look at the scenarios, the outcomes of what's going to happen in these supposed talks that are happening today. We'll see. Some of the Lego videos are pretty crazy, inflammatory, stupid, waste of time, not waste of time. I don't know. I mean, they repeat themselves a lot, so I think that fits in with Pumpkinhead's mental capacity. Just kind of rinse and repeat. All right, so before we get going, let's just drop into just a higher vibe thing. How do we deal with all this crazy news? And I keep reading on this, and it's let it go, ground, do what you can, whatever that is, stand up, use your 5 calls app. There's enough to talk about. To your Congress people. So what do we got? Let's just do a quick 3. Okay, as I have a sneezing fit here, let's drop this down. Yeah, I put my new case up there. It's not my new case. I've had this forever. Got it down in Palm Springs. And I couldn't figure, it started breaking, so I put it back up here again for the first time. It's I kind of like it. We'll see. What do we got? We have the 3 of Fire, and I am using my 5th tarot deck. It adds another set of cards, another suit of cards, which we didn't get. But we got the 3 of Fire. And in this, so this would be the 3 of Wands. And in this deck, the key word is spontaneity. And when I look over these barren hills with spots of green on them, it's not that they're barren so much. It's that they're just being regenerative. Is that the right word? And when there isn't enough water, then they kind of dry up and they get to a place where they're about ready to reseed in the coming years. or coming spring or whatever, not coming years. So, but there seems to be a growth spurt right here. So there's something coming, right? Something that's showing up in our world, in our non-political, how do we get through all this world. We have a celebration of some kind. We have dolphins jumping up and down. The land of Mu, the Lemurian energy, 3 of shells, yay, celebration. So this is the 3 of cups. In normal tarot, divine feminine, bringing it forth. And then we have the 7 of fire. So the 7 of wands. This is normally someone who is defending himself, standing. Do I have that right? 1 second. Yeah, I did have that right. It's defending oneself against some aggressors. And look at this card. It feels like it's the 8 of wands, where news is coming really fast. But here there is some kind of activation. I really am liking this card. So you have the 2 different sides being activated for a central cause. However, that central cause has 4 different directional points to it. Okay. And it's not in the US. Okay. So we have been, when I grew up, I thought we were that special country, right? Now we're figuring out we are not that special country. We kind of lost it. We could regain it, certainly, but it looks like it may be Africa that's regaining it from this card. But how do we deal with all this crap that we're dealing with? Trust in the 3 of wands energy, that there is messages coming from overseas. There is something growing that looks like it shouldn't be growing. There's some strength in the trees in the background, but in the foreground, it's this kind of lightish plant that looks like if you don't water it, it could go real quick. We get a celebration and we get a new activation. So spiritually, we've been feeling that new activation a lot from the sun and the moon. And that is really dipping into our earth energy and our awareness energy. When we tap into grounding, we are tapping into that earth activation that we're getting from the sun and the moon. Very cool. Thank you. All right, what deck am I going to use? What is, oh, that's, hang on, I got to look. Okay, since we were getting that activation card from the sun and the moon, I'm going to pull and use my Galactic Heritage deck to see what is it in this, our species evolution, in regards to this Trump regime still holding on to a third of the people in this country thinking he is a good idea. A third. And I go, if it was 20, it would be shocking. Psychic Duck is going, if it was 5, it would be shocking. You have a thing, don't you? Yeah, he does. Psychic Duck really doesn't like Pumpkinhead pulling the clean water and the EPA and all that. He goes, that's my home. that's where I live. And I keep telling Psychic Duck, I go, yeah, that's where we all live. Psychic Duck goes, it's my pond. I want it clean. I'm going, expand your awareness. I'm going to catch it later. Okay. Here we go. What is the lessons that we are learning? What's the evolution? What's the circle? What's the portal energy for all these people digging into and still hanging on to this energy of confusion, fear? What is that portal energy all about? Okay. Thank you. Wow. Okay. And final. All right, this is kind of cool. So we're going to drop this down real quick, and I'm just going to run through it because these cards are really hard to interpret and read. So if you have your own deck, you can pull it and get a little deeper with it. But what is the energy about this? Him holding on to so much. I think I was a little too limited with it, with the question. So, but what we are going through is a birth and expansion. We got that, right? And let me tell you, from a man's point of view, giving birth is really hard. I think my phone was saying, don't go there. Don't do that. Okay. Birth and expansion. It's tough. It's painful. But after we get done, pay attention to our logic and our reason. We are shifting to a new paradigm of new light and awareness. This is one of the last cards in the deck. Focus on the long-term goals that we have. Focus on calling our parts home. Now this is an interesting card for me because we were just talking about Psychic Duck calling his duck pond home, which was very limited, which was very small. But so that could be it, but it's also what parts of ourselves are we calling to a higher vibrational place. Okay. We are finding common ground, and we are in a new paradigm shift. So, with all of this, why are certain groups hanging on to him? Well, if I just focus on the certain groups, they're going through birth and expansion. They are going, hey, this doesn't make sense with this logic and reason. They are coming to a light of awareness, but it's long term. It's not going to happen overnight. We have to let them find their own common ground. Some are coming back into the fold of whatever that their little duck pond. Okay, sorry. He goes, don't even say duck pond with them. Come on. Common ground, Psychic Duck. Calling our parts home. When I grew up and I thought that America was all united, even though we had some differences, that we were united in common good, and now I find out we're not so united in the common good, but we are finding new common ground with this new paradigm. So it's not the old US, it's a new US that they are going to be part of. They're going through the birth and expansion. Okay. Wow. sometimes I got to get rolling a little bit, with these cards. I gotta start yakking, and then things start flowing, hopefully in a good way. So it's with So I don't know if you guys know this, but I have been studying trance and trance speaking, and a lot of times when you get into that zone, into the ethers, it's really hard to get your mouth moving because you're in the ethers, you're in the non-physical realm in your mind's eye. And so when you it's almost like you got to force the mouth to go. And again, I'm new to this, but you force the mouth to move, and then once it starts going, then it's hard to shut up. Okay, let me get some new cards. Okay, we got the Los Scaribo deck. And one of the things that shocked me with the news was Shawn Hannity saying, I am rejecting my Catholic faith. Many of you guys know that I was raised Catholic, and there is a certain letting go of certain Catholic ideological things. Is that the right word? For example, I never understood about not eating meat on Friday. I go, that's really weird. Doesn't make sense. We have to eat fish. I don't like fish. Well, now I do like fish. Fish don't like me eating them so much, but another story. And so it was just weird. And that's just a little minor thing that I found disagreeable with the church. The whole power structure, the whole rewriting of the Bible, the whole hierarchy of male, female. And they still don't have female priests. What the hell's the matter with you, church? Can I cuss when I'm talking about the church? Am I going to get struck down by lightning? Huh. So Shawn Hannity said on his newscast, I am moving away from the Catholic Church. That's what I heard. And I went, what a putz. So you have a disagreement with somebody and then you go, I'm done. I'm leaving. So I looked it up. Okay, he did not leave the Catholic Church because of the spat between Trump. And I don't think Leo has a spat. He's just saying we shouldn't be fighting wars. I agree. We shouldn't be. We should be looking for peace. So when I looked it up, what's the deal with Hannity? Well, he left the church in 2019. He left the church when he divorced his wife of 20 years to start hanging out with one of his co-hosts. I think she's on the 5 or the whatever. And I'm like, just twisting things around. Number one, you can't believe anything he says. He's already been sued, or his company has been sued. So there that is. All right, so I don't even need to read on that. Nancy Mace, bringing back the Epstein thing. She is calling for a resolution to expel Cory Mills from Congress. He's a Republican down in Florida over accusations of sexual misconduct. Again, bringing the Epstein case back into light again. Come on. Stay. Thank you. So we keep, it's interesting. We keep seeing the Congressional House go up and down like a clown. And so we lost Swalwell. We also lost the Republican Texas congressman. So 1 for 1. And now Nancy Mace is calling for another Republican out. Mike Johnson, little Moses, is saying, oh, it's not a good idea to be trying to get Republicans out. I'm not for it. It's nothing to do with either side. What about the ethics? What about the morality that you guys and gals are supposed to have? Now, he's not concerned about that. He's just concerned about numbers. So let's just look. Is that something that will make a difference? Real quick, let's just throw in that. Nancy Mace getting rid of Cory Mills. Will Cory Mills be leaving Congress soon? Eric Swalwell left real soon. The other guy from Texas, it took a while to get him out. Cory Mills, how fast will you be exiting Congress? I love that all these faith-based newscasters, preachers are sleeping around with everybody and calling on the high morals that they have. I mean, let's just call what it is. It is. We're human beings. We like to sleep around. What? Some don't. Some do. Just leave it like that. Okay. Mills, how soon are you going to be leaving? 3 cards. Ooh, the lover's card. Someone's going to spill the beans on them. Ow, this really makes me sad. This is Mills. Justice. Sword of Justice. Oh my God. Now I'm just reading the card here. Did he have a little baby? I don't know. Why did I see that? Why was that like, ooh, look at that. Why did I pull this deck? Justice. A little baby that has its eyes bound closed. All right. So, how soon? I didn't get how soon, but I got justices coming for him. Going back to a simpler time. Wild ride. Is he just going to be censured or something? I don't see like zooming, but maybe because of this card, the 6 of Cups. Going back to an innocence, going back in history to a simpler time. Yeah, he may be gone, but look at, he has this wild ride. And then he's just going to go back to his own little comfortable lair, probably with lots of money in his coffers that they all leave with. He'll have health care for life. He'll have all these benefits. That's got to change. All right, let's look at the Iran war. Let me see. Do I have anything to go before the Iran war? Then I'm done, I think. Yeah, let's look at the Iran war. So today, did J.D. Vance go there? Did he not go there? Is he going to go there? Is he not? What is going on? So Iran is, I just heard, from news sources, Iran's bad. They got bad people there. And who's giving me that news thing? Is it the Israeli government, the Israeli Political Action Fund that is telling me that Iran is bad? Who's telling me that? You don't want them to have a bomb. Well, okay. I don't think anybody should have a bomb that big. Certainly we are not capable of having a bomb with our current leadership. It's so erratic. Trump reportedly was kicked out of the Situation Room or the War Room or whatever when they were setting up the blockade or something. You got to get out of here. Dude, get out of here. You're crazy. Speaking of crazy, the USS Gerald Ford, the aircraft carrier, has been deployed for almost 300 days. Before I get into the Iran thing, let's just look at the USS Gerald Ford. How's the morale on that ship? A year almost at sea? Now, I don't care how big that boat is, ship. You know what the difference between a boat and a ship is? You can put a boat on a ship. You can't put a ship on a boat. That's an aircraft carrier, so that's a ship. But the berths, they're little. And you got a bunch of guys in there, they're men's men, getting in there and in really tight quarters, not being able to move around. I hear their laundry room, was that it burnt or was it the plumbing? I know the plumbing's always been an issue there. Oh, well, we have high-tech plumbing and it's very sensitive. Yeah, that's what you want on a warship. Very sensitive plumbing. Hell no. That's worse than bone spurs. Okay, so their morale has got to be pun intended, in the toilet. They got to be, they're probably getting in fights all the time, and the depression must be crazy. So here's what they're dealing with. The morale that's dropping their morale down. The long deployment, this is the longest it's been since 1972 in the Vietnam War. This is crazy. Persistent plumbing issues we talked about. The high operational tempo. When you get into stress situations, as we know, we get exhausted, we make stupid mistakes. We're in that now just thinking about our government. So imagine needing to perform at a super high level, landing aircraft, taking aircraft off, putting armaments on warplanes. And hey, by the way, has anybody seen that rescued pilot or airman? Have we ever heard from them? Did they even get rescued? Duck wanted to know. I'm just going to leave it there. All right, so the high operational tempo. You can't function at that high a level for that long a period of time. The leadership response. You look at Pumpkinhead. Where are they getting their leadership response from? Is it just from the captain or the admiral who's ever running the ship there? Is that where they're getting their news from? Or are they listening to, any kind of radio or TV, Fox News, MS Now, whatever? Are they listening to Pumpkinhead back and forth? Yeah, we're going to open the straits, block the straits. We're going to talk to Iran. We're not going to. It's a mess. It's a mess. And then the maintenance hurdles. We talked about the plumbing. We talked about, I don't know if the laundry was in there or not, but let's just do a quick spread on the morale for the crew. And let's just send them a little light, a little love. This is not something that I wonder if they knew now where they were, what they were getting into, would they sign up? If they knew now. Okay. So the morale of the crew out there in the Middle East on the Gerald Gerald Ford. They're on this wild ride, going on a new journey. Huh. They're battling with each other. They're super confined spaces. But they're in the military. They've got this, you know, it's not a democratic way. It's like you're doing this no matter what. Morale. I just get a lot of control. I get a lot of higher order of things. The clarifier to this Queen of Pentacles card in the last position, which is security. So a lot of these men and women are going in there thinking that they are doing something to protect the security of the U.S. They found themselves in a difficult position where they're going back and forth. Is this the right thing? Is this not the right thing? They're doing a lot of internal reflection on how this is working out. Yet, they are still following their orders. But they're questioning them right now. They're hoping, in the hopes and fears, that they're moving on to calmer waters, but it's going to be slow. Got the slow moving knight up there. They are being crossed by a new journey. So they have the Knight of Cups, which is kind of a, you know, is this the knight in shining armor? Yeah, we thought we were the knight in shining armor to go save, and we thought we were doing a good thing. It's a little crazier than I thought. We're riding a dragon, and now they're discovering themselves in a totally new journey. So, yeah, didn't need a tarot reader to figure that out. So let's just send them some, as much comfort and peace and love as we can. All right, let's go into these peace talks. And there's 4 scenarios that somebody put up in one of my news feed. Oh, speaking of news feeds, I put something in my community page about from Simon Rosenberg, the Hopium Chronicles, where he was talking about the California gubernatorial race, where the top 2 vote getters will be on the ballot in November, and it can be 2 Republicans. So the top 2 are Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, and they are at 14%. Pumpkinhead supports Steve Hilton, of course, he's Fox News. So Chad Bianco may hit the ceiling there, according to this report. The other thing that kind of surprised me since Swalwell left is Xavier Becerra. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Becerra, 2 C's, so I'm not sure. Anyway, Xavier, Katie Porter, Tom Steyer are all neck and neck. They all got about 14%, plus or minus. But Xavier really jumped up. So, yay, 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 yay. It looks like they will. There's going to be at least 1, if not 2 Democrats for the governor's race, because there was 1% of the survey that were still voting for people who had dropped out, who were still supporting them, like Eric Swalwell. Oh, did he drop out? I didn't know. Yeah. And then a couple, Yee and somebody else. So, okay, let's look at these talks. First one that we're going to go to. Talks happen. Why do I hear Forrest Gump? Shit happens. Okay. Talks happen, and there is a temporary deal. Is that even possible? And then we'll go to talks end, nothing new, but there's an extension. Okay, let's look at talks happen, and there is a temporary deal. I don't see it. No. Somebody wants money, honey. Let me drop this down and we'll see what we get. 3 of Wands, 5 of Wands, they're battling. Somebody wants money. Somebody says, give me more, give me more, give me more. I wonder who that could be. Give me more. Well, they're both asking for it. Give me more. I want more. And so, without going into who's right or who's wrong, I mean, now we're fighting over nuclear dust. We're fighting over dust. That just sounds so bizarre. We've spent trillions of dollars fighting for dust. Now, some nuclear scientists will go, Danny, you just don't know what you're talking about. And I would just say, take it up with the duck. All right, so let's look at the next one. Talks end, nothing new, but an extension of the ceasefire. That seems possible. Pumpkinhead will say, oh, we're making great progress. We're going to extend the ceasefire. So, talks end, nothing new, but an extension of the ceasefire. Ooh, the Sun card, illumination. That's a good one. Walking away from sorrow. Walking away from the emotion. Walking away to find one's inner compass. And that's the moon that we've got right now. Oh my gosh, last night, the moon, the sliver was spectacular. 2 nights ago. Last night was pretty special too. And then there's still secrets. The High Priestess. Still secrets being revealed. Yeah, number 2. Talks end, nothing new, but an extension of the ceasefire. Okay. Yeah. We like that one. Well, I don't know if we like it, but the cards liked it. All right, let's look at this. No talk and ceasefire is extended. I think that, okay, phone says that's the right one, but it feels like, didn't J.D. Vance go there? I don't know. Yeah, he's going, he's not going, he is going, he's not going. And Iran says, we're not going to talk. So that may be. All right. So no talks, ceasefire extended. No talk. Oh, you saw me stick that in the middle. Walking away. That's a no talk. Thank you. Taking something with them. Leaving somebody defenseless. I look at this like the Straits of Hormuz, where Iran's going, we got control of this. You don't. You thought you did, you don't. It could be the other way around, where the U.S. is just, taking Iran's defenses, but I'm not getting that here. And then we have strength. I'm getting I'm getting that Iran's going to hold their ground. Is there a ceasefire here? With this card, I would say yes, because we're taking some of the armaments off the playing field. There's still some there, but, and we got the light shining on strength, so I'm thinking that there is going to be a ceasefire made, even if there are no talks. So far, number 2 was the best one, and number 4, talks fail, ceasefire, talks, wait a minute, no, talks fail, ceasefire fails. I think that's what it is. It says extends. Ceasefire extends. That's kind of what extension of ceasefire. I might have typed this wrong. Let's just say talks fail and ceasefire ends. I think that's what it was. AI messes with me when I copy and paste. It changes things up. So it's talks fail, ceasefire ends. 3 cards. How is that? What's the energy behind that? Slow moving night. That is good in a way because things keep going. It's just slow. The Hanged Man, ceasefire. It's upside down, or they're looking at things from another point of view. And we have the hard work, diligence. Keep working at it. Keep working at it. The Apprentice card for me. I have a couple of cards that are Apprentice cards. This is one. Just diligently working at it. I don't see that. I think that we are going to see either we're going to see that the talks end, but the extension continues. I think people are going to be talking. It's either going to be Pakistan, whether Iran shows up or not. Maybe they'll send a low-level person there just to say, you guys get it together. Give us a clear message. Get your messaging clearer instead of this ping-pongness. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I have to say. Except peace and love. Bye.